Welcome back to Atlanta and Company, everyone. I'm Christine Pilara. Do you catch yourself scribbling away during meetings, during class, while talking on the phone? In my case, while I'm, in a commercial break. Well, some may consider it a mindless pastime, but research suggests that doodling seriously heightens our ability to learn and remember important information. And joining me this morning is Sharpie Doodle expert, business owner, and author Sunni Brown with what it all really means. Good morning, Sunni.
Good morning, Christine.
Okay, so you say doodling is not a distraction, even though we've been kind of brought up learning or hearing differently, right?
Right. I'm so glad that you mentioned that because that is the sort of popular belief, which is that doodlers are not paying attention. But research suggests that doodlers are actually much more focused than their non-doodling counterparts.
Okay, wow. Is that a doodle behind you? Because that is a really fancy doodle.
It is. These are awesome. These have all been submitted at sharpieuncap.com, where I am. That's where I live as the doodle expert.
Excellent.
And a lot of yeah, I know, and people get to submit their doodles. A lot of them they're now using the new Sharpie pen because it's got multiple colors, so it's a great tool for doodling. But yeah, there's a lot of beautiful doodles back behind me, and you also submitted me a beautiful doodle.
Well, let's talk about that because when my producer said, hey, find us some doodles, I really had to think, how many times do we really recall what we're doodling? And then I really realized I mostly do a smiley face, and and my smiley face has big eyes and some wiry hair, and I don't know, it's kind of a happy thing, right? Please don't tell me I'm a serial killer or something.
No, is this a boy? Do you think of this as a boy?
I do think of it as a boy, yes.
Okay, me too. But I actually love this doodle. As soon as I saw it, it's like it's a doodle that makes you want to smile back,
Hey, good.
And I know. So you're not a serial killer.
Okay, good.
So no, his hair is adorable. It's like, wee! It's a fun doodle, and it's really reminiscent of the basic shapes that are sort of the fundamental building blocks of any good doodle. So it's perfect.
Okay, good. So it means like I'm normal. Can we say that? Kind of? No. You're like,
I'm sure you're normal.
Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about, the fact that if little, Johnny gets in trouble during class for doodling, are you basically saying that's not a bad thing anymore?
Yeah, I'm actually saying it's a good thing, and I think that teachers and bosses and people in settings where people are supposed to learn something should actually encourage people to doodle and should be okay with the fact that many of them are doodling because, as we know, students, particularly younger students, have a lot of energy and, they're considered to be sort of hyperactive, but they just don't have a channel for that energy, and so when they doodle, it allows them to sort of channel that and focus that energy into something that maybe could, be doodled related to the information that they're hearing. So it's actually a really powerful and useful tool, and I highly recommend it.
Okay, so it doesn't mean that we're bored or not paying attention.
Right. It actually means that it's a way to get your brain to check back in. So when you're looking at somebody doodling, you kind of automatically assume that they're disinterested in what you're saying, but the opposite is true, which means that they're trying to re-engage and refocus and opt back into the dialogue. So that's why I think it's great in classrooms. It's actually it's a ready-made tool for classroom learning. Yeah.
And how can doodling help you think more creatively?
So a lot of times when we're trying to get some kind of breakthrough thinking or solve some kind of a problem that's recurring, we rely heavily on conversations with people, and we rely on a lot of text-based information, and that's good. I'm not advocating that text is not useful, but we're not using our whole mind to engage those dialogues and to have those conversations. And so when people doodle, and of course they can accompany the doodle with words, then they're literally accessing parts of their brain that are otherwise not active. And that's why it's such an important thing, because it's turning on your mind is what it's doing.
You're really tapping into an area that maybe we don't use that often, and so
that's right.
We need to expand our capacity, right?
Absolutely. So even when you're drawing your happy smiley faces, it's better than not drawing them, because that means that you're engaging your brain.
Okay, good. And lastly, tell us about this daily doodle. How can our viewers take part in that?
I'm so glad that you asked, because I love my job as the doodle expert, because I get to look at people's doodles from all over creation. But so they can go to sharpieuncap.com and submit a doodle, and what I'll do is I'll give them positive feedback and encouragement and some kind of analysis of their doodle. I'm not going to tell them they're serial killers.
Good.
And so they may get chosen for the daily doodle. So I really look forward to seeing people's doodles.
Well, Sunni, thank you so much for enlightening us about our creative side. We appreciate your time so much.
Thanks for submitting a doodle, Christine.
You're welcome. And if you would like to submit your doodles to Sunni or just get more information about visual thinking, please log on to sharpieuncapped.com.